Welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It is another Tuesday, another TCG TED Tuesday. We're going to be opening up some Compendium of Rathe, of course. We got a couple boxes. And then, as the thumbnail says, we're going to do a little bit of a live buy list. We did one of these a couple weeks ago. Got some pretty good feedback. I'll cut it up, throw it up on the channel afterwards. Wasn't able to get to it this weekend, so figured why not do it live, you know what I'm saying? So appreciate you guys being here. Well, like I said, we got a couple boxes first to get to, and we're getting to it. So yeah, so, you know, not a big news week in Flesh and Blood. Oh, man. So we got a BNR this week. And, holy smokes. Man, they're breaking the mold with that BNR. Let's see. That CC Classic Constructed BNR kind of had some extra juice to it. Not expecting that. I had to get Shane on the podcast last night, put up an episode of the buy list where we pretty much talked through his run in Memphis, and then also talked about the BNR as well. I think overall, you know, it's just, if you listen to the podcast episode, you kind of got the gist of what I was saying, but I'm pretty, I think I kind of understand where they're coming from. You know, there's been a couple times where things went a little awry on them in the last year, and I think they just decided to not force the issue again. And and overall, yeah, Sage is like, isn't perfect, but I also do think that I mentioned this in the episode as well. Is that, you know, I think they really want to make sure that the voting system works how it is. They've mentioned the voting a couple different times. We're going to set this guy off to the side. And I get the sense now that they want to make sure that the voting gets off to the right foot and it doesn't feel like it's influenced by them, and that it really is by the players, right? And I understand that. I kind of understand that point, if that's the case, a little bit there. So, and also, you know, it's not cool to ban stuff out of new products. The PT is, you know, it is what it is, right? Oh my God, Static, that's your first message of the night? Ugh. Dude, we're about to vote to bench you, son. All right, first pack of the night. Let's get into it. See how V was cracked, anyways. Yeah, I mean, it's a card that says draw two. So you know, and I said this in the episode, and I'm gonna say it again right now. Actually, the last market minute. If you guys watch my market minutes, I highlighted channel the Lightning Valley. And you know, I was kind of on it like, hey, this is like $40. You might want to wait. I think this is a heavy reprint target, especially because it's so good and all the heroes are probably going to play it, but they might like design around it. And I even said in the episode, I was like, but I don't even know how they could design around it. So I went all the way up to maybe it gets a ban, and then there was actually a comment on that video saying like, yo, it might get banned. And I was like, actually, it might. All I'll say is I'll take a little bit of a victory lap and say I hope y'all watch the market minutes and bought your channel like fridges when I highlighted them when they were like $10 a piece over the last 6 months. I think I talked about that card twice minimum. Minimum twice. I know it was last week when it was up, and then so But yeah, it's a cracked card. I'm not surprised it's gone. We got a Guardian Rainbow Foil here. Just some rares, though. I'm just happy my boy got his Roots Bonds back. Oh, man, if we want to talk positivity, Scepter of Pain is back. That's, like, honestly one of my favorite weapons. You know, the amping was really cool with Channel the Millennial Tree. But, you know, I think we'll have to see what goes... what happens there. Because it is kind of interesting that it's we got an illusionist card here. I mean, it's just not gonna get played though. It's just not very good. We got a coal foil, Reach Beyond the Grave. Man, the art on these necromancer equipment is so cool. Let's set that down. Let's set that up there. Let's move these down a little bit. But yeah, Scepter of Pain's cool. I'm glad to see it back. Obviously, it's a pretty safe unban. Like, Vincent's just not gonna play it, you know. We got a Reviled and Revered M. Let's set that one up here. And we got a high current currency generic can go there. Just Tails 2.0. All those busted heroes out. I don't know if they were busted, Static. I mean, I think you guys know my feelings on Rosetta. I do believe that it is one of their greatest sets, if not the greatest set they've ever put out. And I think, yeah, Aurora went a little too fast, but I think the other heroes were like, they kind of nailed the other two heroes on LL, like length, right? Both of them were just over a year, just like they said. They wanted it to be like 15 to 16 months, somewhere in there, which they both hit that mark perfectly. Basilio's kind of on his way too, so like he's just behind them. Leave them speechless. Reviled, Revered getting in the game today. We got some Mechanologist cards here as well. So honestly, Rosetta was like chef's kiss, man. Dude, Tails is like you got y'all. Tails is insanely strong. It definitely was a strong set. Yeah, I think it was a very strong set. I'm not gonna disagree with you there. But I do think it's like, I'd be surprised, and maybe, you know what, next time I get to do a meet and greet with James, that might be a good question to ask him. Like, how does LSS view Rosetta internally? Like, it may be a bit of a layup question, but I would be curious if they kind of hold that set to, like, you know, if they try to hit that set's mark, or if they feel like it was a little overtuned and they try to hit just underneath of it, or how that works, you know? I would be curious to know that. Fasting Carcass. Just some rares. But yeah, I already missed the Rosetta heroes. Ooh, Topsy Turvy Pirate card. Got a Chaos, so that goes in the old Chaos Assassin slot. We'll put that right there. Second cold foil. Hopefully we can get a Marvel out of this. Last week we finally got some antiquity hits, so hopefully we continue that trend this week as well. Knife Through. That goes there. Ooh, Ghost Protocol. Look at that. You guys watched the stream this weekend? There were some pretty cool games coming out of Memphis. If you didn't know, good old Teklo Boston made top 8. Isn't that crazy? We saw Arachne Huntsman make a top 8 this season. Ooh, look at that. I see it. I see it. Do you guys see it? Ask for a marvel and you shall be rewarded. Pirate Necromancer. What do we got? Ooh. Oh, Kasai Satari Sellsword. Pretty nice for the warrior slot. Look at that. You guys like the new Kasai art or the old Kasai art? What's your thoughts on that? Sound off in chat. Also, thank you for voting in the poll. Looks like 73% of y'all prefer the Antiquity border. That's cool. You know, I think I've said this. It's way too hard to choose. I think I like this art better. This art feels like, yeah, they're both very good. I will agree with you on that one. But this one feels like, I don't know. I just like the way the art is on this version of Kasai. Let's put warrior cards right here, eh? My last pack had a prism. Very nice, Stalker. Overcharge. Ooh, that's not a bad hit right now. You know, you got Ziggy coming up. Conqueror the icy terrain. Just some rares there. But yeah, there was Memphis and the Callings have been very fun to watch. Obviously, the quality of the streams have been top tier as always. And then the meta's just crazy. Meta's just nuts out there right now. It's like, man, it feels like anything can win. Mario probably top dog by a slight margin. Got some rares. Shadow card. Man, shadow card taking over the light here. No light cards to be found yet in rainbow foil. Wax and Wane. Mystic Illusionist. What do we got here? Light equipment. There we go. Got a Soul Forge Gauntlet. But I'm excited. The PT is going to be very cool. Be taking off for that in a bit. Ooh, we got some ninja action here. Heading back to Japan. I'm kind of curious to see how. It would be interesting to see. Ooh, we got a legendary. Let's go. Light and Strike. By the way, these cards. Are you going to compete in my showdown? Your showdown? Or like the showdown? Yeah, I'll probably be playing in the showdown. I got to get them tournament packs. You know what I mean, man? Got to get them tournament packs. You know, this Enlightened Strike is actually holding pretty good value. The last time I looked, it was like 35, 40 bucks. But that pays off the generic slot for sure. Not too shabby. It's very nice to hit that. I'm the head judge. Oh. That's what you mean. Yes, I will be in there and I will be playing to my best ability and minding my P's and Q's. I don't really normally have any issues, obviously, but ooh, Blessing of Bologna. Yeah, but dude, I gotta get them tournament packs are so good, dude. I assembled a crack team. Nice. I love to hear it. Brute. First Brute rainbow foil. Yeah, I'm super pumped for Yokohama. It's gonna be tons of fun. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of going around. Ooh, an embalm, very nice. Man, this is a shadow and light box, eh? Draconic actions here. Couple Warriors. All right, we got a couple packs left. We're gonna then we get to that Antiquity pack. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can keep the good times rolling. Weeping Battleground for Rune Blades. Blue though. Oof. Weeping Battleground blue. Not sure that card needed to come in blue. Mistborn. Deep Recesses. Mystic. Alright. That's going to do it for the packs. We got one more pack to go. Mr. Dizwit has the Antiquity pack again. So, let's get these bags here. Moonblade Elemental. Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of like how this meta shakes out at a Pro Tour level, you know? Like everyone's like trying their hardest, doing lots of practicing. We got Mech, Chaos Assassin, Revealed, and Warrior. C-Max, congrats on the Kasai. That is very cool. I don't know if you have one of these yet, but hopefully this is a card that you've been looking to collect. We got Brute, Guardian, No Ranger, Pirate Necromancer. What KO hate shows up? Yeah, I also think, yeah, I do think there will probably, like, I know KO is like the strongest, but there's got to be some, there's got to be some attack, some way to like attack him, right? She's a hero I enjoy playing. Well, that's super cool. I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's move these out of the way. We got this guy right here for Mr. Dizwit. All right, safety first as always, guys. Do a little fold back. Do a little scissoring. I wish these packs had just like slightly better hit rates. I think it's like, it's obviously you have to have like bad pulls make good pulls good. You know what I'm saying? We all know that as TCG enjoyers. But man, these packs feel quite hard to get something. Hold the line. Hey, not bad. Speaking of Antiquity Borders, we're at 67% yes on these. I think I started saying this comment, but I did not put, I didn't like these when they first announced them, you know, when I saw them on the computer screen. But I don't mind them now that I've seen them in person. Like even in the non-foil variants, I think it looks pretty nice. Obviously, the cold foil variants are very pretty. We'll throw this one in together. A little Sigil of Solace. I'll be curious to see how these age as a, you know, if people prefer them. Obviously, 67% of you guys prefer them at the moment. So we'll have to see how that turns out. You know, maybe someday in the future, a year from now, these are Sigil Solaces with the Antiquity border are like a hot commodity, you know? All right, we got one more pack. You guys get to watch me do some, you know what, actually, before we do this, before I get into the numbering, let's not delay. Let's do the giveaways. So if you're in my Discord, all you got to do is react. I give away 2 packs out of most boxes that we do pack breaks on. And then that pack also comes with a raffle to win the Antiquity pack too. How cool is that? Yes, yes, yes. Let's turn this on. All right, so we're dual wheeling it up again. So we got pack 23 and 24, no repeats on this one. So one pack, one person wins one pack here. So let's roll the first one, see who wins that first pack. Pack number 23. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Obviously, no repeat winners, so we'll be pulling that person out. And we got the Baron. The Baron. Congrats. Control, copy, remove. Let's go over to wheel 2. The Baron. Back to wheel 1. Is removed. All right. Number 24. Number 24. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. What do we got? Tim. Congrats, dude. Congrats. All right. We'll go over to... All right, we'll come back to this after we get through the box and roll the Antiquity pack, eh? Let's turn this off. Let me make a note of this. All right, guys. Too many bags here. Too many bags to deal with. All right, let's get into this. Let's start numbering. Look at this. The fan favorite handwritten little stickies. I don't know why they're the fan favorite, but people make comments about it. All right, this is what we're going to be raffling off. One pack gets you 1 ticket into that raffle. We'll be doing that shortly after. That's true. Yes, Big B Nana knifed an Antiquity pack very recently, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, you can kind of pay to win on these, but there is no guarantees unless you buy every single pack, right? All right. 10, 11. Oh, 1 pack must have slipped off. Right, that one over there. $13. Lucky death. But exclamation point Discord while I'm doing this, get you a link to the Discord. Go ahead and join up if you are interested in grabbing some packs, grabbing some breaks, hanging out with some chill people. It's always fun in there. And maybe you can win a pack or 2, We'll be doing pen for the foreseeable future. I got a decent amount still, so it is a fun set to open. Unfortunately, right now it's it is what it is, right? It's hopefully Omens brings some juice to it, right? Which I think it will. A lot of these cards read very well. I think they'll be good eventually, right? All right, C-Max, you are up. Pack 1, 12, and 17. Got a little bit of a random draw here. We always go in order. Pack number. Want another battle? All right, I'll be down for that. We can do that. Got some oak here. And, got a mask cold foil in that first pack. Not too shabby. lucky numbers. Well, you got a cold foil. Not a bad start to the 3 packs. Layden got an M. Not doing so bad. Not doing like amazing. Nothing to write home about just yet. But we got one more pack for you, C-Max. Let's see what we can find here. Not a coil. Yeah. Nothing in that last one. But I appreciate you. And you got 3 raffle tickets for the Antiquity pack. So we shall stay tuned and see how that fares. All right. Josh, you are up next, sir. 2, 11, 16, and a 22. 2, 11, 16, and 22 for Josh. Let's see what we can find. We already got 1 Marvel tonight. I would be nice to grab another Marvel. Drag Down, Pillars of Unity, cold foil, second cold foil of the box, not too shabby. Pack 11. Let's go. Glory plates and a fire that burns within. What are we getting? What are we gotten? Can I join the giveaway? Yeah, we'll have another giveaway next week for the packs. As long as that pack break opens or fills by next week, we will be doing another 2-pack giveaway. When all you gotta do is join the Discord, and you'll have access to the giveaway channel. So go ahead, join up in there, and we'll love to have you in there hanging out with us, TCG Ted folks. All right, what do we got? We got a Herald of Victoria and a Reckless Arithmetic. All right, Josh, not too shabby. Got yourself a little cold foil. Look at that. The Baron's got 3 and 13. 2 top packs. Let's go. All right, Baron. Let's see if we can grab you here. Oh, snap. Now that's not a bad pull at all, Mr. Baron. I have a feeling this card might be pretty spicy very soon. You know what I'm saying? Getting that in EA. The EA seem to be about 1 per case, so they are not easy pulls. I know the Baron wants the big hit out of pack 13. Unfortunately, that time around it was pack 3. I'll have to keep trying to hit that lucky number 13. All right, we got just some rares in the second pack, but Astral Volt EA, not too shabby. Pack 4. Outlaw Nar, you are up, sir. Pack 4, 14. Look at that. Top of the stack again. 21 as well. 3 packs. Let's go, Outlaw. Let's go. Duty Bound. Ooh, a Swordmaster Shine. I think I'm higher on that card than most people, but I'm not a warrior person. I think that card's gonna be pretty good. All right, pack 14. Just a duty bound blitz there. And pack 21, the last pack. Let's see what we get here. Submerge and just some rares. All right. Chemical, 5, 10, 15 and 20. Nice little set of numbers Mr. Chemical's got. I dig it. I dig it. And a rainbow foil, just some rares. First pack. We got one more cold foil. We've also gotten some boxes with 4 cold foils, so maybe more than one more. Knife through. Hopefully we can hit another marble. Let's go. I know we just hit the EA, but Lunar Mirage, not too shabby card to be opening right now, eh? Maybe Ziggy is looking to play that card. Does kind of fit his theme, you know, lunar. And we just got a rainbow foil in here, pound of flesh. Fortunately. Alright, Tim. You got 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, and 24. Oh, and the Baron's got 23. We'll do the Baron last. I should have added his pack in there. Tim's got a stack of packs here. Alright, just a rainbow foil there. That's a lot of packs. Tim's looking for that antiquity hit, I think. Trying to boost his odds, I think. Gentle Breeze, Future Sight. I know typically we normally do pack openings on Tuesdays and leave it at that, but tonight is a special night. We will be doing a Market Minute live. Ooh, a cold foil Majestic. Very nice. Market Minute live coming up after this box. We're going to run through some cards that I wanted to talk about in the episode this weekend. Right out of the pack, this card's got chunked out of it. Unfortunate. Well, we're still going here. But yeah, if you want to hang out for that, we'll run through some TCG player cards and stuff that I thought was kind of interesting. But some things came up on Sunday, so I couldn't record. So we're going to do it live, you know? 19, yeah. Put on ice. Doomsaying. 18. Hyperinflation. Yeah, nothing else there. Pack 24. What do we got? Tempest Answers. Hey, Draconis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Let's circle back to the Baron. Then we're going to do this roll for this Antiquity pack. Where's the Barons? Baron, you got pack number 23 in the giveaway. Let's see what we get here. Painful Premonition, nothing else. Alright, just a rainbow foil. But that means it's Antiquity pack time. Alright. Put this away. Get this bulk out of here. Alright. Antiquity pack time, yo. Come on. Come on now. Alright, so we added the Baron. We added the Baron. We added Tim in there. Like we said, 1 pack, 1 raffle ticket. Tim has stacked the deck in his favor. Let's see if we can get it. Spin the wheel time. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Let's see where she falls. Where's it coming? Tim. The odds were actually in his favor, folks. All right, safety first, as always. Also, let's not leave that up. Made that mistake once. Gonna try not to do that again. Would have been cooler. Yeah, you're right. It was number 6. It would have been sweet if it was 24, right? Safety first on these guys. Just double checking. Doop. All right, last week we got 2 cold foils. Come on, man. We got 1 legendary out of these packs. Let's find another legendary, eh? Come on. Premeditate. All right, okay. Premeditate and a sink below. Not too shabby. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everybody that's got packs. We're going to be shifting to a market minute here. All right, folks. Let's talk about some cards, eh? Boom. First one up. Rowdy Locals. What's up with this? I don't know if you guys haven't noticed. Rowdy Locals is quite thin inventory. Oh, I need to pop out the chat so I can move this sucker. Let's knock that down. Let's exit out of that. Okay. All right, let's put the chat right here. Bear with me while we get this figured out. So yeah, Rowdy Locals, guys. Actually, I should just start this off. I might want to clip this out and make this an actual episode. So let's start this off proper. Hey everybody, welcome to the Market Minute. We're doing it live this week, and we're going to talk about Rowdy Locals here first. So this card's quite interesting, right? It is a card that has some text on it that's not too bad, right? When it hits a hero, they discard a card if you discard a card. You know, sometimes you don't have a card to discard, but they do, right? So that's where that is. This is, I believe, an Ira card. And it is a card that was not picked to be in the Antiquity pack. So this card has not been reprinted. And we're kind of seeing that showing up in the current quantities. And also, look at this. $11. And she's skyrocketing up, right? So last sold, or highest sold in the last 3 months is $29 on this one. And $8 is the low. Currently 5 on TCG Player. This says 6, but it's actually 5. We can see it right here. Yeah, so keep an eye on this one. This, no reprint or anything like that. It's definitely pretty sticky card, right? It's one of those cards that I think, it's kind of innocuous. It hasn't really shown up, but it's always been kind of an Ira card. And, it's just, what is going on here? Music died. Let's fix that. But yeah, overall, Rowdy Locals, keep an eye on this one. I believe the rainbow foil, we switch it over here. What? Rainbow foil is $29.99. Don't know why that is the case, but it ramps up quite as well, and also quite low inventory on the rainbow foil. Why is this doing this? Oh, there it is. All right, music back. Sorry, technical difficulties, folks. Okay. Yep. So, yeah. Oh, can't go without music, right, guys? That's just not. Can't have that. What is going on? Hopefully the stream is not dying. It doesn't look like it's dying. Okay, there we go. All right, let's talk about the next one here. So this one's quite interesting as well. And the music cutting out is worrying me. Let's see, stream health. Excellent. Okay. Sound off in chat if I'm getting choppy or losing streams or something, but looks like our YouTube music is not doing so hot right now. Anyways, we'll keep going. Hopefully that comes back. Yeah, so the Yarrow cards, frozen to death here specifically. We got sitting at $10.04. And you could see here from the chart, just low, just steady as she goes. You know, we got a $2 low in the last 3 months, and $9.23 is the high. So we're sitting just above that high at the moment. We got 7 listings right now, and Yarrow decks can still be found out there. I think on TCG Player they're like $100. So they're not cheap. But yeah, these cards are just starting to dry up. Obviously, Yarrow is kind of gaining popularity as we move forward. He's obviously not the most popular Guardian at the moment. Victor and Valda probably hold a little bit more meta share than he does. But I thought it was interesting to start seeing these Majestics from the Armory decks kind of vaporize. And it's not just this one either. There's some of the other M's in that as well. I think Crumble or whatever. I don't have it pulled up, but it just as a singles, these cards are man, this music is bothering me. Can't get it to work. Anyways, so yeah, Frozen to Death. Check that one out. $10. Obviously, not incredibly expensive card, but it does. We're at 7 copies on TCG Player. Typically, that moves the needle. You might see some flow back in as people maybe have some of these Yarrow decks and they start opening them or whatnot. But even if it flows back in, that means the price is going to go up. As you can see here, it has gone up from like $2 up to 10 now. Another Guardian card, Flash of Bravado from Guardian Master Pack, currently sitting at $18.75. Says there's 23 of these on TCG Player right now. Now, the thing about Guardian Pack Mastery is it's just a weird ass set. It's the Majestics were kind of hard to pull out of this. The rainbow foil is even more so. And you can see here, if I scroll down here, this chart, the last 3 months, this thing's just been bumping, right? So we just get down probably under 20, and then the price jumps, and then we go on from there. And yeah, there's some pretty, play set of listing on each one of these, except for this last one. It tops out at, with shipping, it tops out at $26.99, right, or whatnot, $27.99. So, yeah, another card that's just in the meta right now. We saw Victor. I think Victor plays this card. Valda probably plays this card as well. It's just a good, solid card. And we're starting to see it move now that we're in the Guardian meta. So keep an eye on this one. Overall, kind of interesting. It would be interesting to see how Guardian Mastery Pack ages altogether, right? We're starting to see a couple cards here or there start moving. Obviously the generics out of that set moved very well. Fearless Confrontation, Call for Backup, things like that. But now we're starting to see the Guardian Majestics actually move themselves. So interesting stuff. Next one up here I wanted to talk about, on the market minutes, if you watch them each weekend, I've kind of highlighted a Vincent card each week since her kit is kind of aged because it came out in Dust Till Dawn, right? Most, obviously some of her bigger cards like Call was a expansion slot card out of the Hunted, but her main base is still coming out of Dust Till Dawn, right? The widespreads, all three of them come from Dust Till Dawn. Funeral Moon is another one that comes from there as well. And you can start to see it, her popularity starting to show up in the price of this card. So if we scroll down here, we look, obviously June, shout out to June. You can see exactly when she got second place in a calling and this card started to pop off. Says that we've got 35 here on TCG players, so just over 10 play sets, 12 play sets or so. No, sorry, 11 play sets and a couple stragglers. But you look at this, low sale price $3, high sale price $12.25, so we are under this by a couple bucks at the moment. But it is one of those cards that kind of just, again, getting low inventory, not super low just yet, but could start moving, as Vin said, as a staple, right? She's getting local LL points, but not national LL points, right? So she's not like, and that means she kind of is going to be sticking around for a couple seasons unless she starts winning these callings and stuff. Maybe she wins a Pro Tour. But, she's not in risk of LLing, I would say, anytime soon, right? So this card's just going to be a staple card with her. It's very good, and it's played as a 3-of in all of her decks. So another interesting note on how, the meta shapes how the market reacts to these cards for sure on this one. Next card here, man, every time I do a market minute, there's always a Rosetta card to talk about. There's always a Rosetta card to talk about. This one here is Sigil of Lightning. For obvious reasons, we're looking at the Marvel and Omens as a thing, right? We scroll down here, we see that there are 11 currently on TCG Player, high low of $35. So this card never got like super bargain bin cheap. Obviously Acilio always played this card, so it didn't really get that far, and it's a Marvel, so they're just not gonna get like dirt cheap unless it's like a really unplayable Marvel. High of 90 on this guy, so this one's seen some highs. If we look down here, right, it gets back to 90 quite quickly. You got a play set at $68, then a handful, you jump right up to 2 play sets away from $90 again on this card. And we have a lightning set coming up, so I would say do the lightning heroes play this card. I think Ziggy's talking about flashing auras around and stuff like that. It's just a solid card, right? And I think on this one, I would say if you have a play set of these, or if you have a set that you just like pulled yourself or something, probably not a bad time to maybe wait when it gets closer to that $90 mark. I think it will as we get more spoilers for Omens. We could see this go back up closer to that $90 mark, and that's when you want to trade out and get some cards that you do want to play if you have some of these, right? But Rosetta, it's just holding its value, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I can't not talk about Rosetta. All right, now the last one here isn't specifically well, it is one card, but Market Minute a couple weeks ago we did a little bit of a breakdown of like how the reprints were faring and stuff like that. And I do think that this one's interesting. Let me scroll up so you guys can see all the Tunics. Tunic's been reprinted a couple times, guys. The thing to note here, though, is that what do most of these listings have in common? They're all over $100 already. Crazy, man. Crazy. Game is doing well. Obviously, we're moving. Cards are moving. Silver Age is helping players get into this game. And what's the first card that you buy when you're going from Sage to Classic Constructed? it's got to be Tunic, right? It's at least one of those first cards that you pick up. You know, I don't know how to explain this, but I would say that the Spring Tunic Rainbow Foil from WTR is maybe like the next best option, and it's at $95. It's the cheapest version of Tunic, and it's the Rainbow Foil. The rest of these are non-foils, and they're all more expensive. You know, you could make the argument that the Gunic is you know, holding some value because of the new art, right? The new art's, you know, quite nice, right? It's one of my favorites. Even in the non-foil, maybe we're seeing a little bit of that. I would say, you know, if we click on this guy here, look at this. We got down to $88 on this version. $80 low sale price, $119 high sale price. Currently 20 of them. So not a ton of these. Again, these are like one per case. So, you know, not a ton coming onto market. You know, let's look at the OG. Oh, okay. So we got a little bit of a, like, you know, weirdness going on, right? Where TCG players saying it's lower, but surprise, surprise, even the WTR Tunic is now over $100 again. And low sale price was $95, high sale price $132. Bump that out, goes up to $159. Yeah, I think we're, you know, the US kind of drives the market a little bit on a lot of cards. So I would say we don't have a lot going on until the Pro Tour, until Nats here in the US. So maybe these cards stabilize around $100, and it did come down with the reprints, but I don't know how long that stabilization lasts, guys. I think, you know, I would not be surprised if by the end of the year these go back to closer, move upward, right? Maybe 130, 140 price range. So keep an eye on that. I think it's super interesting. I think these reprints, these cards that are just in high demand, they're just in high demand, you know? So interesting stuff overall, for sure. All right, let's talk about, and the last card here I want to talk about is Crown of Providence. A lot of the same story here, but on this one I think we're still behind the curve a little bit, and that's why I want to bring this one up. Is that to me, Crown of Providence is still slightly depressed from the reprinting. Obviously, it is a card that's now has 4 variants, as you can see here. Obviously, the Antiquity Pack variant is, you know, extremely hard to pull, as you can see. You know, there's only 12 on TCG Player, and it might even be less than that. 8. Yeah, it's actually 9. And one of them, and the cheapest one is Japanese, right? So these are just super hard to pull. So if we exclude that one, you know, and just take a look overall at where Crown of Providence is at, I think $70 is probably not a bad deal if you like this new art. You know, if you don't have a Crown of Providence, and it's a card that you foresee yourself kind of using, you know, you play heroes that want to swap this into their sideboard, which honestly a lot of Flesh and Blood heroes want to play this card still. You know, maybe consider trying to find one sooner than later on Crown of Providence, and that's why I wanted to talk about it kind of in the stream on this one. You can see here too that $52 is the low, $79 is the high. So we're you know, a little bit under that high, but we're getting back to it, you know, as it's creeping back up. Again, if we look at the Rainbow Foil variant here, so this one's from Uprising, we got $86. And we look at the high-low the last 3 months, 69, 68, 115 is the high. Bump that out to 6 months, we got 69 again, and 164 is the high. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. That 164, I don't know if we ever get back to there again, because we did inject more cards into the market. But I think just like Tunic, and some of the other reprints that we just saw, we saw that big depression of like, it was almost like on a speculation that the reprints were going to be pretty heavy. They turned out to not be as heavy, I think, as the market thought they were going to be, from past experience from Super Slam and High Seas. And I think the market's now readjusting, and with Silver Age bringing new players into the game, these generics are going to be sought after, right, by more and more people. So keep an eye on that. I think it's super interesting. But yeah, so yeah, that's a couple of the cards I want to talk about. And just keep an eye on it. Check out the market minutes. I try to do one every week unless I'm traveling, and just trying to help players get their cards kind of on sale and trade in and trade up to the cards that they need, right, is the whole goal there. So really like doing these, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. But yeah, that's I think I'm gonna wrap it up there for tonight, guys, and appreciate you. We'll be back next week with more packs. Also, I have another buy list episode coming out this week still, recording that tomorrow. And a little bit of a spoiler, the guest host, or well, more of an interview than a guest host, I don't know, we're pretty good friends, but Tyler from Righteous Gaming is coming back to the channel. It's been a long time since we had him on the channel. We're going to pick his brain on how vending's going. If you don't know, he is vending most callings these days and most large events around the world, just not in the US. So he has his finger on the pulse when it comes to how these events are attended, right? I know there's a lot of talk about the attendance. All we see is the calling attendance, but does that mean, how does that translate to people playing side events? How is he buying, selling cards? So we're going to give him a chat and see how things are going from the vendor perspective. And they cover all your gaming needs. Yes. Tyler's the man. I'm a big fan of Righteous Gaming as well. So we're definitely going to have a good chat with him. So expect that to come out probably probably Friday-ish. So keep an eye out for that. Hit the bell, hit the like, hit the subscribe, so that you know when I drop that next episode, and all my market minutes, and when we go live on these Tuesdays. We're going to check you next time, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.